what is going on, obscure mic people? It's Mark. I'm back with another microphone review video for you, and you may have noticed the clip art for the video and thought, what the hell is that? And that's what I thought when I stumbled upon it. It's exactly what I thought, actually. What the hell is that? So that is yet another, and I should be maybe a grump about this and be like, oh, another podcasting microphone. I mean, they're all potentially podcasting microphones, but no, I'm not sick of seeing in-to-dress podcast microphones yet. I'm just not. What I am sick of is the name pod in all of them, but that's for another day. Anyways, we got this guy in the studio with us. It is the CAD Podmaster Super D. God. CAD Podmaster Super D. You may be thinking, great, another one. But you know what? Don't think that, because we've got a contender, or at least a competitor, in that very low-end budget podcasting mic for him. Talking on the H&A AC50 right now with processing on, or at least it was, now it's not. So you just heard the H&A AC50 with processing. Now there is no processing. So why redo the video when I can just turn the processing off? You guys know what the H&A AC50 sounds like. I've done a video on it. I'm a pretty big fan of it for $69.95, and then I saw the Podmaster, good old Podmaster, $79. What do you get for $79, you may ask? Bark, tell them what they've won. Okay, so you get a box with the Podmaster D microphone in it. You get a cheap metal shock mount like you've seen with all those other condenser microphone kits or dynamic kits, the Neewers and the BM800s of the world. You also get a foam windscreen. You're also going to get a cheap, flimsy metal boom arm that does the job just like the Neewer ones. You're going to get the clamp for that boom arm. And of course, you're going to get the Podmaster Super D microphone as well. Now, the Podmaster Super D microphone is an all-metal body with really solid weight to it, a beautiful silver grill, and an in-firing top that's beautiful in silver as well, and of course an XLR connection on the bottom. All this for $79.99. By my account, you could sell the cheap shock mount for $10 on like Facebook Marketplace. You could sell the boom arm for probably $20 on Facebook Marketplace. I've done it before. So you subtract $30 from that price, unless you want to keep that stuff. More power to you. It's your prerogative. But you can sell that stuff and essentially make this mic $49.99. $49.99. Now, that's not exciting right now because you haven't heard it. But it might be more exciting after you've heard it. Or it might not. I don't know. Actually, I do know. Anyways, we've got the Podmaster Super D and the NO Gear shock mount that you're just going to see all the time, and I'm going to mention it all the time because it's just so damn handy. So damn handy. Let's go ahead and get the H&A AC50 out of the picture. Again, I think this is a fantastic budget mic for podcasters. I actually love this thing, which the price is in there, and that's part of why I love it. But I think it sounds good as well. So let's get this out of the picture, and let's get the Podmaster Super D. I think I might have a Super D. Anyways, let's get it on the camera. All right. Now we've got the CAD Podmaster Super D in front of me. It's on. We're ready to rock and roll with this thing. And the initial thought out of the box and into my mouth hole is fairly nice and smooth. Fairly bassy. Picked up a breath just now. But listen, $49.99. I'm already kind of digging what I'm hearing. Let's go ahead and put it through the rigors. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. Plosives are awful. But, you know, that's part of the game there. Let's go ahead and throw the provided foam windscreen on there. God, I watch too much Andrew because sometimes I just sound just like him. Not accent-wise. Mine's much worse. I'd be, redneck Andrew. Let's go ahead and put that provided windscreen on that son bitch. You're not going to see this because I cut it out, but it took me 10 minutes to get this windscreen on. You ever get a windscreen and it's the softest, floppiest, most bangable windscreen you've ever had in your hand in your life? I think they call those something like a pocket windscreen or something like that. Anyways, I understand why once a week I lose a couple subscribers. Fully aware, fully agree with it. I take no offense. Not going to stop me, though. But anyways, I got the pocket windscreen on. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple plosives. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple plosives. It helps a little bit. I imagine a better windscreen would do a better job. For some reason, I feel like the softer the windscreen, this may be the dumbest thing you've ever heard, but I feel like the softer the windscreen, the least effective it is. I don't know. Let's try my windscreen, my old trusty handy-dandy green ringed windscreen. It's really just a green rubber band for looks and stuff. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. About the same on that one, if I had to say so myself. So let's prepare your ears, folks, for this proximity effect, because this is somewhat of a bassy baby. It is somewhat of a bassy baby. In my Kia Soul, that's my work vehicle that I drive to work. I don't do like construction with it because it's a toaster on wheels. But my Kia Soul, great stereo system, also a bassy stereo system. To get this how I wanted it to sound in that vehicle, I had to take the bass and dial it back all the way. All the way. Take every bit of bass off of it, add a little bit of mid, add a little bit of high, just to clean up how deep and bassy it was. It doesn't sound as bassy or as bad in my headphones tonight on the Rodecaster Pro, but it is a bassy baby. So prepare your ears for the proximity effect in 3, 2, 1. When you get right on top of the CAD Podmaster Super D, also known as the BBC, this is how it sounds. When you get right on top of the Podmaster Super D, this is what that sounds like. Now, in my Sennheiser headphones, it's not as bad, and that proximity effect sounds nice and smooth and just lovely. But I swear to God, on my Zoom PodTrack P4, with a pair of Zoom headphones as well, kind of my travel setup, bassy as shit. Bassy as shit. On this, sounds nice and buttery smooth and just very pleasant. But I have a feeling that it could come through as a super bass meister on whatever you're listening to. So sound source is going to be a big part of that. This is a super cardioid polar pattern, by the way. Wanted to get that out of the way before we do the off-axis rejection on this thing. So talking into the front of the Podmaster. 90 degrees on the Podmaster. 180 degrees on the Podmaster. 90 degrees again on the Podmaster, and I'm going to spin it back around to the front of the microphone. There you go. Off-axis noise rejection, as you would expect with a super cardioid. I think it was excellent. Absolutely excellent noise rejection. I'm going to have a hard time not justifying rolling with this as my podcast mic of choice. Those plosives are the only thing that bother me for the most part, especially considering it's not super, super bassy on the Rodecaster Pro, but even at an angle on my mouth, still picking up those plosives. Not so much now because I turned it a little bit more, but, you know, it still happens. Let's go ahead. I'll do an off-axis, I'll do some keyboard noise test for you. Everybody always reminds me, and I'm just not in the habit of it, but I'm going to start typing while I talk, and I'm talking while I type on a keyboard, and this is what that sounds like on the Podmaster Super D. Super D, what a name. Someone at CAD watches way too much porno. Okay, let's go ahead and also throw some compression on this microphone and a de-esser. And then after that, we're going to throw a high-pass filter on it and then an oral exciter just to see what sounds best. I'm not going to be able to tell you with these headphones on because apparently these have served me well, but I swear everything I listened to today made this a bassy, 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 bassy bitch. All right, now we've got compression and de-esser on, And that kind of really brings the mic to life, and I just am very impressed with the total package for $799. $79.99, not $7.99. That would suck. But yeah, this is compression de-esser, just the basics, and I do think it just opens up that top end a little bit to where the bottom sounds really perfect with it. Now, granted, I'll get in my Kia tomorrow, and it'll still sound bassy as hell. I just got a feeling. So we're going to go ahead and throw a high-pass filter on it and see what that sounds like with the compression. High-pass filter is not engaged, but now it is. So now we've got the high-pass filter, and, that's not a massive difference, at least in my headphones, but it's enough to where it really jumps out yet again. Just a little more of an incremental jump into my headphones. Clear, nice, smooth, not very grainy up top at all, not scooped in the mids. This actually sounds so much like me that it's a little bit uncanny for the price. I am impressed with the Podmaster Super Dick. I am super impressed with it. The Plosive suck. Like I said, not the best thing ever there, but my God, that's most microphones. Most microphones, the Plosives just aren't that great. This is, man, that super cardioid polar pattern as well. I get over here and it just cuts right off. I mean, you can still hear me, but I mean, it really, really drops off drastically. I am digging this microphone quite a bit. $79, man. I want to know what you guys think. H&A AC50, I still think it sounds great. Definitely two different sounds with these microphones, but not drastically. I just feel like this is a little more top heavy, a little more grainy. This almost feels a little more flat to me with that amount of bass. Granted, there's a presence boost, no doubt about it, but man, this does not sound bad. When I heard it on the PodTrack P4, my first initial thought was the Sontronics. It was a little bit like the Sontronics Pod Pro or Pod, whatever the hell that thing is called, without the scooped mids, without the hollow sound. And I thought, yeah, this is what that mic should have been. But instead, it's the CAD Podmaster Super Dick. So, man, I am interested in you guys' thoughts on this because I think that is one hell of a winner for $79.99 with the boom arm, shock mount, windscreen. I don't want any of that stuff, but, that stuff has value. You can sell that stuff and initially make this a $50 purchase. Daggone, son. The form factor's beautiful. I mean, it looks nice. I love the silver and the black. I love that they put Podmaster Super D, even though that's a dumbass fucking name, on the side of the microphone. Both sides of the microphone, actually. I'm impressed. I am impressed. CAD has knocked it out of the park. And again, I never heard a single thing about this mic coming out. It's been out since December. The only place I could find it, actually, which I ran into it on, where did I buy this from? I bought it on Reverb, but I ran into it on Full Compass or Z Sounds. I can't remember which. I'll post some links below. You can also get it on Amazon. That's the link I'll post below because it helps me out, and I am really racking up the debt on my microphone card. So if you want to make a donation or buy a mic from the link, that would help me out tremendously because I just keep buying shit. And this channel's small, so not really pulling in the big bucks. But CAD, Super D, Podmaster, my God, I like this. I'm giving it the green light with ease, with absolute ease. I am giving this thing the green light. I was a little bit worried about it because in the picture, it looks like a condenser sort of, and it said it was a front address microphone instead of end address. And I know a lot of times front address means, the end. But the pictures they were showing with that was standing up, and, I thought it was going to be like the Stedman where you had to talk into the side of it. Ended up not being the case. But yeah, Podmaster, Super D. I love it. For the price. I mean, I really like it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Awesome. More choice, more variety for podcasters, voiceovers, gamers. More variety. Can't beat that. See you guys next time. Obscure Mics is out. The Super Dick's out. Peace out.